My name is Kaylee, and Collaborative Construction was helping me redo the kitchen. They were also helping open up the space because there was actually a wall here, and so it was removing it so it was more of an open space between the dining, living room and kitchen. I had been just on Google looking at all the different construction companies in Regina, and I was really looking for one where there's pieces that I knew I could do, but I also wanted someone I could trust for the parts I couldn't do myself, and so I wanted someone that was willing to do both of those things. And then also just reading through the reviews, theirs stood out compared to lots of other companies. And then once I started talking to them, I actually found out that they had done projects for a bunch of people I worked with, so then that also gave me peace of mind. The working relationship was really good. They were communicating really clearly. I love that they have the app, they would post pictures on things like that. It was during the summer, and so I was away quite a bit, and it didn't matter where I was. I could just look at the pictures on the app and then text them and be like, oh, hey, can we maybe move this over a little bit or do this a little different color or whatever. So we went back and forth on lots of things. There was a few bigger decisions where I needed to make some different choices, and it's an older home, you always find fun things. And when I said, hey, you know what, I want to look at this differently, they were always willing to look at different options. So I had really specific ideas about some of the things I wanted, and so I would give them really specifics on the vision I was looking for, and they would get back to me so quickly with different options, different people that I could talk to, so that really sped the process up. It was always spotless. Like every day I would come home from work and I'd walk in and everything had been vacuumed perfectly, or I'd come home and they were vacuuming, and that just made such a huge difference for me. So there was a couple really big challenges that came up when they found things that weren't built exactly the way they expected. Like I said, old house, and so there's always fun things there. And they were willing to go away, come back with a bunch of different options for me, and they did that really quickly. Often it would be within the week, which is huge considering that they were actually really big changes that they need to make. They were always looking out for my best interest. That didn't mean that doing the fanciest, most expensive thing, it was doing the best thing, and really working through all of the options with me, and their willingness for me to do whatever pieces I could, and they would support me through that, and then they would take on the parts that I obviously didn't have the skills for. They were just always super excited. When they would come and a new piece was done, they were super excited to see it, and they were just joining in the same celebration that I was, of a way more usable space. The fact that anytime that I would have something that came up that I was like, oh, I want to change this, they were immediately like, oh, I'll just stop by on my way home and I'll pop in and I'll give you some suggestions. And so the fact that on any given day, if I needed to chat to them, they would just stop by on their way home is huge.